We bike. Don't worry about it, man. We ain't worried to lose no more fucking games the rest of the season. We'll see you out in the NFC Championship game. Just take care of Detroit for us. Uh-huh.
Real talk. They are definitely the team to beat. All right, we live. Yo, I respectfully disagree. Podcast got a good one. At least I hope it's a good one. E pulled up. We always do to have a good time when E pull up.
Man.
Welcome to the podcast, man.
Appreciate the invite.
I had to have some water with this one
Let me get the laugh out early.
because, of course, we woke up to a new president,
Yeah.
and based on social media, everything that's going on, you literally would have thought the world ended from the time I fell asleep to the time I woke up. And this whole entire presidential campaign trail, I have been quiet
Me too.
about it all.
Me too.
I've had private conversations, friends, family members, and things like that. But in terms of taking it to social media, I was like, I refuse to do it because I remember what happened the last time Trump ran. And it was a lot of friends that was lost, people that I still ain't spoke to
Right.
since that election and stuff like that. And it's just like, I learned then that we're going to always have a difference of opinion regardless. And once you start allowing that to influence and impact friendships, like long-term friendships and things like that, then you need to just fall back on it.
Yeah.
Just as a person that just wants to protect your own personal peace.
Right. Yeah.
So I've been very hush hush about it all, and I went to sleep. I saw that he was in the lead, and based on how I was looking at them maps and stuff like that, I was like, she ain't got a chance. I saw your post, and you was like, what the polls looking like, or something you said,
Yeah.
and I posted the little
The
gif, and
GIF
I was
with
like,
Trump.
this
Yeah.
one of the greatest wins, because I was just like, bruh, a lot of people really thought she had a shot. And that's what I want to talk about today on this episode. And I want to make sure that I'm putting this out here before we even have any kind of conversation. These are just my thoughts, my opinions. I'm not here to please anybody. If you don't like what I'm saying, you are entitled to your opinion.
Right.
This is just me personally, how I felt. So this is where we getting ready to dive in at in terms of overall, how did you feel about this whole thing in terms of her even becoming the nominee so late and where we're at this morning?
It ain't even about her becoming a nominee. Like when you seen Trump's name on that, you already knew he was gonna win. Like
Facts.
there was nobody that you could have put in that place that was gonna beat Donald Trump to become the next president of the United States. It's like this country was hurting for him to get back in that seat.
And even with that, that could all be an illusion as well. Because I honestly feel like a lot of people, for right now, I'm gonna take the wealthy and push them to the side.
Yeah.
We already know why they are in favor
Uh-huh.
of him, because
Uh-huh.
they're gonna benefit from it the most. But in terms of middle class and lower class people, I feel like a lot of people are confused about what all transpired. we literally were going through a pandemic.
Right.
So that's where a lot of that stimulus and a lot of that stuff came from. A lot of people did thrive during that time period
Right.
while he was in office. But that was literally based on us going through a pandemic. Had we not been going through that circumstance, it wouldn't have been no $1,200 stimulus. It wouldn't have been no PPPs. A lot of people wouldn't have benefited from that. So, in my opinion, I feel like people assume that that's what we're finna go back to,
Right.
and that ain't happening. But go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
But once again, like I said, when you see that man's name when he got elected, when he was running for president again, like there was no doubt in my mind that I was like, dude, who's gonna beat this man?
Right.
Nobody.
Exactly.
You know, like it's funny. Like you said, we woke up this morning. That's all I seen on Facebook. Oh my God, there's Trump. People on here crying like they like legit mad, like what you said, like the world was about to end. Like, how did you not know that this man was not gonna win this race? Like,
Yeah.
let's be real about this shit.
But that's what threw me off the most because every morning, faithfully, I listen to Ricky Smiley.
Right.
6 o'clock. When I got to log in at 6 o'clock, I got Ricky Smiley going. So the first thing that they started doing, which ticked me off a little bit, was it was like black and brown men didn't step up to the challenge. I saw too many black and brown men voting for Donald Trump and this and that. And I'm like, wait a minute. Pump your brakes. Before I even saw the official numbers, I was like, bro, this is deeper than black men and brown men. The whole country was backing him.
Right.
Don't try to turn and flip this into a black on black issue, and now you're trying to divide it even more. So I was already kind of in my feelings in regards to some of the rhetoric that he was trying to push.
Mm-hmm.
But a few of his guests that called in this morning, they corrected him on that.
Right.
And then when I officially saw the numbers, I was like, black men, I want to say it was what, 20% of black men voted for him.
Right.
So I'm like, don't put us in that box like that, bro.
Right.
I was like, it's already divisive as it is.
Right.
But I'm just like, nah, bro, don't do that. But like you said, people crying. And of course it's social media, so people are gonna make memes and mockers like, oh, I feel like I'm gonna wake up a slave and this and I'm just like really? We all went to sleep and woke up and had to get up and go to work or whatever it is that you do, regardless of who was gonna be in office or who won last night. I'm like, nah, y'all tripping.
Yeah. I mean, nothing against Kamala Harris, but I just don't understand why people really thought that woman was gonna win. Look at her. Look at her campaign. Let's start there.
Yeah, let's start there.
Let's start there. Cause like the first, I wasn't keeping track of it and shit, but like when I seen her having Megan Thee Stallion doing whatever the hell she doing, I was like, yeah, she lost. Like when you doing stuff like this, like no matter like the presidential race, like everybody knows, man, you have to win these white people over.
That is my take as well. And it ain't necessarily even a race thing, but you have to acknowledge it for what it really is. We are minorities, literally, which means that there's more Caucasians than it is African Americans. So in order to win a presidential election, you have got to convince a nice amount of Caucasians to get on board with you. And for me personally, for a multitude of reasons, I didn't like the whole Quavo, Megan Thee Stallion, Glorilla, Cardi B. And I'm just like, you're pandering to the wrong crowd.
Right.
You were going to get a large majority of the African American vote simply because you are a woman of color. We still live in America. Deep South, Ain't nobody flying for no woman as a president. Let's just call a spade, bro. Like, you had to convince that population
Mm-hmm.
that you were a solid and worthy candidate. They didn't even rock with Hillary Clinton, bro. And she's white.
It's crazy, dude. My homie Juan, that's why it took me so long to get here. We was talking about that. He literally said that, man, blue collar white woman married to an ex president,
Bruh.
and she didn't even get in.
And it's like, I'm trying to make sure I skate down this path because I know people are gonna get offended, and I don't mean it that way. But it's like, you knew that people were gonna latch on to this. Oh, it's only because she's a black woman. I respectfully disagree.
I disagree.
I understand that that plays a pivotal part in it.
Right.
But for me personally, in my opinion, this country is not ready for a female president.
Mm-mm.
Because we still have that backwards mentality. It's still there. People seem to forget, bro. Barack Obama ain't too far from where we're at. I was in college, and they was hanging Barack Obama dolls and stuff by trees on campus.
Right.
Bro, that ain't been too long ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
So why do we pretend like everything is kumbaya? Like, bro, this country is deeply rooted in racism, sexism, all of that. So
You can damn near say that them two alone is equal.
that's why I'm like, bro, she was not gonna be taken serious, in my opinion, and they set her up for failure.
And I ain't, like I said, once again, like what you said, I ain't trying to be rude or say this the wrong way and shit like that. If people get offended, I apologize and shit. It's like you said, a woman can't run the country right now, because you think about it. Women run off emotions.
I've been seeing that a lot today, and the debates and everything been going on, but continue.
You know what I'm saying? They run off their emotions. I literally had this conversation. Like, I wasn't even trying to be funny, but it sounded funny, but I was being dead ass serious. I'm like, let's say this. I'm assuming she's married, right?
Yeah.
Let's say her and her husband get a divorce or split. Her mind's on that shit, not the country.
It's a possibility. That's fair.
Then you think about this. These world leaders, these other countries already look at America like it's a joke.
Facts.
The United States president is what, the head of the seat in what was it NATO? Whatever it's called.
Or yeah. Now that I'll be honest here, and that's where people can correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah,
In
I
terms
may
of
be
all
wrong,
the ins
but-
and the outs, I don't know that
But
part.
you know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't no Queen of England shit.
Right. Yeah. I agree there. And it wasn't until this morning, because like I said, I went to sleep, that I found out that she didn't come out to do the concession speech. She didn't even show up. She didn't do that until today. So you had a large crowd of people that's there in support of you. And it's like, even with that aspect of it, I'm like, that to me kind of shows you why things transpired the way that it did.
Right.
Like, it just didn't feel right, in my opinion.
Right.
And that's why I'm saying it ain't necessarily strictly about her being a woman. It's just, for me personally, and guess what? I voted for her. So I don't want people to get
Yeah, I voted
confused.
for her too.
I didn't vote for Trump or none of that. I want it to be clear. I voted for her simply, and I'll go back to my point here in a minute, simply because I'm all about just treating people with decency and respect.
Mm-hmm.
And Trump been done showed us who he was. So take the political part out of it, just who you are as a human being. That was enough for me to say, nah, you ain't getting my vote.
Right.
But I'm saying that in a situation where right now this economy is in the shape that it's in, and people are struggling in all facets of life, whether it's providing the necessities of groceries, um, housing, hell, even renting, putting gas and stuff in your car. Like, people are down bad. And the illusion is this is all under the current administration, which she is a part of.
Mm-hmm.
So every time she spoke and had the opportunity to address either A, what they're going to continue to do in hopes of making things better, or B, if I'm elected, this is what I'm going to do completely different than what Biden is currently doing to make things better. For me personally, I never heard her address things straightforward. To me, she kind of danced around it all, gave little half-hearted answers, and everything was directed towards, well, Donald Trump is this, Donald Trump is that. And I'm like, you don't have to convince us.
Right.
It's them that need to hear what you're going to do to make their lives better. If not, they're going to run to go push Donald Trump's name.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, like it was doomed from the jump, in my opinion. Like, she was never going to receive a fair shot, just based on how the history of this country, the fact that she's a woman, the fact that she's a woman of color, and the fact that the economy is suffering. The writing was on the wall from the jump, man. That's why I'm just like, how and why are people shocked?
Yeah, I've been seeing a whole bunch of shit that I've seen. Somebody blame Biden, talking about he's egotistical, not running again and shit. I mean, who's to say Biden would have ran again and Trump still wouldn't have won?
But he did run again. The thing was, he just up there making a complete idiot of himself. And that's why I feel like the whole Democratic Party as a whole failed.
Yeah.
Because he's up here literally stumbling over words. Like, and that's where, and I don't want to go down this big old hole in terms of how the whole thing needs to be broken. The whole system
Right.
needs to be broken. It's an outdated, we got two parties that, like, squash all that, bro. All these age people can sit there, and that once they're voted in, you can sit there till your damn heart stop, bro. That is a problem.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
you're
files
out
like
of touch.
Yeah, files like the Senate. Yeah.
You're out of touch
shit
with
I-
the rest of the world, bro.
McConnell probably like 103 years old.
That man brain is shutting
Yeah.
down in the middle of him
Yeah,
talking.
he's senile as fuck.
But it's like they have the authority to rule on things that impact millions of people.
Yeah.
Like, that, to me, should be grounds for automatic disqualification, bro. It has to be an age limit.
And shit, like, about that whole president thing, a whole bunch of people, how the president run the country. No, he don't.
And that's the thing that people don't understand.
The Senate does.
And that's why I'm just like, bro, like, it's a lot to it. Buddy said doomed. We are doomed. Like, I'm glad you're commenting. Please elaborate on that, because, like I was trying to tell you earlier, it's like you see all these different celebrities and TV personalities and things. Everybody's using different tactics
Yeah.
for whoever it is that they're in support of.
Yeah.
And I see a whole lot of people using scare tactics, fear mongering, and I'm like, bruh, we survived 4 years of him in office.
I ain't even gonna hold you. I kind of forgot he was the president probably like the last 2 years.
Like, we've been through this before.
Right.
Don't let Donald Trump get voted in. The world's going this and that, and we're going to do all these different things. And it's like, based on the attempts of him trying to appoint all these different he was trying to move pawns and put people in positions and things that's going to have long-term effects. And this may be a continuation of that. So long-term, it may be some truth to a lot of the talking points and the fear that people were painting. But it's like, I do feel like a lot of people are going to the extreme.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard a lot of shit today. Like somebody at work today told me that they've been trying to get, like he said he get elected again. He's trying to get rid of the whole tax thing and shit to where like we're gonna just only receive the gross and shit. I heard that today. Um I just been hearing a whole bunch of bullshit today. You know what I'm saying? I've been talking to a couple people at work and in general and shit. The main question that I asked today was the MAGA.
Okay.
Like, make America great again. I even seen a sign today. Told y'all my territory is Indiana. First and foremost, let's get that out the way. So if any of y'all packages come up late or missing or whatever, my bad. But I seen a sign that said
Hold
guess-
that thought, Clyde. Stay on the live if you still on.
I
if you
guess
still listening.
the vice president's last name is Vance or some shit.
Yeah.
I don't know who he was running with. But I seen a little sign that says "Take Back America." I'm just like, is this what we really on? So
But that-
I'm like, you have this guy that's make America great again. Now let's take back America. What made what made America great? When has it ever been great? Like you just turned 40. I'm 41, be 42.
Yeah.
Been living here in this fucking country my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see different people on different podcasts, radio shows, whatever, etc. They ask that same question. When has America ever been fucking great?
And that's the $1 million question. And that's why I feel like he understands his base.
Right.
And he has never veered from saying and doing everything that he knows is going to keep his base. And like I said, we are the minority. It was not her position to convince us. It's some of them people that's in his base that you got to swing and bring
Right.
over here.
Right.
We already know history has shown there ain't a period that you can go back to and trace where it was great for us. But again, no disrespect, and I'm finna take it here. This whole premise and idea that later on down the road, white people are going to be the minority because you have more mixed kids now. You have more mixed relationships, mixed marriages, and things like that. He knows that he can play to that and use that scare tactic to say things like, we got to make America great again. We got to get back to this. We got to get back to that. Because studies have shown that they are on the path to becoming the minority.
Mhm.
On top of the fact that you got this migrant situation going on.
Right.
So now people are afraid more than ever that they're finna be replaced. And instead of the United States being viewed as this one big melting pot, technically it's becoming a melting pot, but they no longer will have full control over it, if that makes sense. And again, this is just me talking. Like, that is a scare tactic.
Yeah.
So when you hear the phrase "make America great again," it ain't for the entire country. It's for a particular group of people.
Yeah. It's America's never been great for the whole population that's in the country. It's only, like you said, particular people.
So hold on, because I want to go back to Clyde for a moment. Shout out to Clyde. He said, now they're about to control all aspects of the government to include the Supreme Court. That's a tough road. Now, here's where I'm
Yeah.
going to challenge you because, again, I'm not a Republican. I didn't vote for Donald Trump. But I recall the last election, it was a celebratory moment because they was like, for the first time, the Democrats control everything.
Right.
And I'm saying that, okay, if this was such a significant part in history, and a very pivotal part into how Biden and all of them were going to shape this country moving forward. Somebody's got to help me understand how that did not transpire. So it boils down to a lot of the votes and stuff. And when it got here, it got halted. But it's like, okay, I thought we were in control of that.
Right.
So now 4 years later, it's like, oh no, now the Republicans is in charge of it. And I'm like, bro, this is a constant seesaw. And I'm like, I can't get involved in that. I just got to take my ass to work, do what I need to do to provide for my family, and just let the chips fall where they
Right.
fall.
Right.
Like, people are too mentally invested in this because for me, again, I'm just speaking for me, I haven't seen the benefit from either side.
Me neither.
So somebody please help me explain that. That's why I wanted to go back to your comment, Clyde. Help me understand that, because at one point, did we not control it for the last 4 years? People are just ignorant, talking about shipping black folks out of the U.S. Where are they shipping U.S. citizens exactly? Use your brains, folks. Did we get shipped out his first time? That's like, I'm serious. Like, I just don't get it. I don't understand it. And it's like social media will paint this picture, and people that don't have the capability of thinking for themselves will just fall in line and run with that.
Mm-hmm.
I know I've been rambling and I apologize, but like,
That's the problem right there. Social media and shit. I ain't gonna lie though. I've been seeing some funny ass shit on Facebook today, boy. That one I posted about dude talking about the states. His name was T something Mason or some shit. I shared that earlier. Then that one where they was talking about motherfuckers talking about moving out of the country, ain't never left Kentucky. Like, that killed me right there.
that's the truth
Like,
too.
I might joke and say, "Oh yeah, we moving back to Canada and shit like that." I mean, but like, ain't nobody fucking leave her, man. It ain't that fucking serious, bro.
And
Like, it really ain't.
if we're being honest, that is why people didn't want to vote for her. She has a white husband. If this was football, Harris should have won, but played conservative and dumb. Trump stuck to his guns and kept going forward on fourth and second and won. Democrats don't know how to run a campaign. I agree there wholeheartedly too, because again, and I don't mean to go back to this, and we started going down that road, but we kind of veered off because I'm like, as a woman, throw out the black woman part for now. Just as a woman in general, the fact that you brought out hip hop artists and this is what you're broadcasting to the entire world, to me was disrespectful as fuck. Excuse my language. And even more so as a black woman, I feel like they should have been offended by that.
Yeah, yeah.
Because for you to be this woman, highly educated, you have all these credentials, you shouldn't have to come down to having to pander to a group of people. And I get it. It's the younger generation. This is what our culture and our music is pushing and promoting. But I don't think you had to go to that level to try to show people that you're a part of the culture or you understand this generation of people.
But even with that, it's a dumbass move and shit because you got to think about it. You still got Marianne and Beatrice still kicking, man. These older white people.
And bro,
I
it's like
get trying to get the young vote. I get all of that.
uh,
But I mean, come on, dude. Like, okay, let's throw a number out there. Let's say you got to be what, eight was it 18, 21 to vote?
18.
18. So let's go from 18 to 25. How many people in that range you thought vote for real?
The numbers have shown that more, the numbers are going up. So
And then hold up. Think about this. In that age range, most of them people's following their parents. They not even really even interested in the political views. Our mom and dad fuck with Trump. I'm gonna follow suit.
Yeah. And I feel like that in its own self is an issue. Shout out to Clyde again. College kids do turn out pretty well. That's what I'm saying. Like, it has trended upward since I've become of age, because I am going to speak for me, and I'm going to be 1000% honest. I didn't vote. Like, I didn't have an interest in it. It wasn't until I started having kids of my own and you started hearing the rhetoric that was being pushed. That's why I'm saying that still, as a 40-year-old man, this is still mind blowing to me to see both candidates stand up on a podium and take personal shots at each.
other.
I was like,
Yeah.
bro, I have never seen this before. And maybe it's because I wasn't paying attention or whatever, but it's like, I don't ever recall candidates stooping to this level of, like, nothing positive came out of it, in my opinion, when you sat down and watched those debates. That's why my attention span was not there, because I'm like, when you ask one of them what their policy, like, this is a direct question. What are you going to do about the economy? Well, Donald Trump is going to do this. Oh, well, Kamala says this. It's like, nobody never really answered the question, in my opinion.
Right.
So I'm like, where are we going here? Like, you're not helping your case, because instead of you putting on a persuasive argument that's going to help sway and swing some of these states, you just stoop down to his level, trying to throw personal jabs and insults and things like that. Hell, even when Biden was up there, it's like, bro, like, what are y'all even talking about? Like, nothing about this, for me, shows me that you all are really trying to improve and help the American people. So it was a big ass circus, bro. And I'm like, now you got twerking and this and that going on. And even when you did get Beyonce, people were outraged because they was expecting a performance. I'm like, bro, this is a presidential campaign. Like, this is not a concert. But you gave the illusion that it was a concert, bro. And I'm like, this ain't helping.
Nah.
Especially, like I said before, in an economy that's hurting. We're coming off some of the worst flooding and hurricanes and this and that. So people are still down bad and trying to recover from that. And again, maybe I didn't pay enough attention. I see we got people watching on Instagram Live, Facebook Live. Help correct me where I'm wrong, because again, I'm not trying to be disrespectful or nothing. It's like, people ain't trying to see no fucking Cardi B. How are you going to help us?
Like I said before, at the end of the day, when it comes to stuff like this, you have one side, especially if you are African American. I'm not even going to say a black person, African American. You have one side you truly have to convince on their vote. Your color alone is going to have your race vote for you. So if you can get at least 30 to 40% of them vote for you, come on, bro. You're going to win. Like, it ain't even going to be close.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, bro, like, go back to Obama real quick, briefly. You knew people was going to vote for Obama because he was going to be the first.
Right.
But guess what? He came with a plan.
Right.
He came with thought out ideas. So you got a whole country of people that's like, damn, he sound like he know what he talking about.
Right.
I want to get on board with that.
Right.
He's trying to push this country in a positive direction. I'm on board. He won twice.
Not to mention he had to clean up what W did, but
bruh. So I'm sitting, I'm like, you were not going to win just simply off being the first black woman. That wasn't going to be enough. What is your plan? And I never heard it, bruh. So I'm like, for me, I went and casted a vote, and it was just simply just for the sake of doing it. It wasn't even nothing that I'm like, I feel like I'm making the right choice. It's just like, damn, I'm obligated to do it.
I mean, but even with that, man, because, you know, a lot of people wrote me that morning and asked me, go vote. Did you go vote? I'm like, yeah, I did vote. My one vote is not going to fucking accumulate to 1 million.
in a red state of Kentucky.
In the red state
bro.
of Kentucky.
We've been red,
So
bro.
it's like
Clifford the big
so it's
red
like-
dog red.
So it's like you have these arguments and debates about your vote matter. In this case, it don't. It never did. So once again, like I said, I voted. What difference did it make if I voted or not when we already knew who was gonna win?
Bruh. Like it's wild, dude. And I'm just like, bruh, like, are we being serious right now? Like, did you really, really think based on, again, I understand she was given a short time frame.
Right.
Like, we gonna here, grab somebody off the bench, substitute them in, and we already down 20, bruh.
They thought it was gonna be like what was the head of the state, Mays Gilliam when
Man.
dude and they plugged them in and shit. But I mean,
Shout out to Mario, but Dems will swear to you that they don't pander to black voters, bruh. And I was just like, I'm a male, and I'm just sitting here like, are y'all serious right now? Every black person in this country should have been like, I'm scratching my head, like, are y'all fucking serious, bro?
right.
And all the stuff that they performing is songs that ain't got no uplifting message. Every other word is blurred out. I'm like, for somebody that's trying to get people to vote for you, you thought this was the way to go?
Not to mention, I think the video I saw with Kamala Harris and Meg, I think she was doing that Meg dance too. The video I saw,
Bruh.
like it's not appeasing to these old white folks, man.
Shout out to EB. I wasn't impressed with either candidate. I was unsure who I was voting for up until about 2 months ago. I went with Harris, but for me not to be 100% sure until 2 months ago says a lot. I agree wholeheartedly. As a black woman seeing another black woman run for president, you would think, you would think that that's an automatic vote. Nope, I need to hear what you're going to do to change some things. She said nothing that made me say, oh, she's the one. And that's where I stand at. And I had several lengthy conversations with friends and family. That's why I'm telling you, I didn't come to social media with it. I wasn't trying to have no back and forth with people because I know exactly what happened the last time.
Mm-hmm.
A bunch of arguing, calling people out of their names. Before you knew it, long friendships was ended. And I'm like, I'm not doing that. But in the comfort of my own home, I had these conversations and I kept saying, bruh, what are the policies?
Right.
Where is this going? We have a 2-income household, bruh. And I'm telling you, the last few years, I'm not finna cap for nobody on this internet. Shit been hard. I don't give a damn how many pair of shoes and like, bruh, this is me being 100% transparent.
Right.
We've been getting by. We've been making shit shake. And I'm just sitting there like, bruh, hey, something gotta give, bruh. Like, this is hard. Like,
nah,
for real.
though. For real though. Hey.
Like, come on, man. At this point, people should have played defense. Like, I just don't get it. And I love that we got a lot of people watching and commenting. I'm trying to keep up with it all. I won't make an excuse for her. Hold on. I won't make an excuse for her, but there wasn't a true campaign. In all honesty, it was only 107 days. She also couldn't really stretch her legs because she couldn't run Biden under the bus. A real tough spot. It most definitely was a tough spot, and that's why I was just like, it was a damned if you do, damned if you don't. And that's why I honestly opened up this podcast with the question, like, did people really think that she had a legit shot?
A lot of people did think. But even with they plugging in short notice, if that's anybody else, if they had a lengthier time, are we really gonna sit up here and say Trump still wouldn't have won?
I'm not gonna say that because of how loyal his base is.
That's what I'm saying.
And I don't want to go here, okay? I don't want to go here. But it's like, and I'm not making a comparison, so please understand that I'm not making a comparison. Diddy's in prison.
Excuse me, Lord.
Everybody cancel Diddy, get rid of everything he got going on. We taking his keys to the city back. We doing all of this. R. Kelly in prison. Take everything he done. We wiping his music out. Catalogs gone. Everything gone. Taken. Bill Cosby went to prison. We taking everything. You got to hunt for the Cosby Show on TV. It ain't coming on. None of that. And I'm like, don't this man fall in the same category? Some of the allegations and things that he's been accused of, even when he was the president. You giving out secrets, you doing this and doing that. You incited a riot on the Capitol. Not one person has said we canceling him. Damn if the rules still allow him to run for office. Just as a whole, the way cancel culture has been and the way y'all doing people of color, I'm like, bruh, we as African Americans will ride to the end of the road to cancel everybody of color that are accused of all of these things. But then the same people of color, I'm voting for Trump. What? Where does that make sense at?
Yeah, there's a lot of coonage going on today.
So I'm like, bro, like, again, going back to what you just asked, I'm like, bro, his core decided years ago that none of that matters. None of his allegations, none of the convictions, none of that mattered. So you was doomed, bro. You was doomed. Imagine how bad your strategy had to be to lose to a man whose classes impeached and borderline incited. Bruh, DOJ about to drop all the charges too because he about to be the sitting president. I swear.
You said that earlier.
I told
You
you.
said that earlier.
I said, bro, all that get ready to get cleared. Get ready to get cleared. I'm trying to keep up with you, Jared, over here. Hold on. So we should have questioned her with the dictator as an opponent. Don't matter what her policies are. Play defense against the opponent. Against him, yes. You could have ran against him and you would have got my vote. She got my vote. She got my vote. So that's what I'm saying. She got my vote simply off I don't view him as a decent human being.
Right.
Like that is enough for me. The way you talk bad and said all of these things towards groups of people, not even just African Americans, all groups of people, all people of color. Like, no, I don't care what your policy. You could have said, man, when I get in office, I'm giving everybody $1 million. Nah, bro, I ain't rocking with you.
Yeah.
I'm not rocking with you. But it's like, again, his base is ride or die with him, bro.
Nah.
It did not matter what he said or done. They was there. So she should have known that, and your whole strategy should have been, how can I pull some of them over here? And it didn't happen.
At the concert she was having. Maybe if she would have got Taylor Swift, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, she had Taylor Swift
Listen.
co-signing. She didn't have her at no campaign rally or nothing like that. But
Nah, that's
Taylor Swift did back her.
That's where she fumbled.
And I'm just like,
because her cult is stronger than Beyonce's.
bro, I'm like, dude, like, again, even if none of them had got on stage at any of these campaign rallies,
Yeah.
I've done so many episodes simply off of their content, how they present themselves, and the fact that I've got daughters. I've said that off rip. You take these same people and now you insert them into a presidential campaign. It ain't us that you got to convince. You lost probably millions of votes when you done that. Just my opinion. Please don't shoot me. You lost millions of votes when you brought them out.
Yeah. Yeah.
The writing was on the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to y'all though for the early morning shenanigans though. Y'all was very entertaining today. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, man.
I didn't
swear.
take no parts, and I was like, I ain't doing
I
it.
woke up to that shit this morning. I'm like,
Delete me now. Get off my
Yeah.
friend. I'm like, bruh, no,
yeah.
it can't be that serious, bruh. Not behind this one,
That people lose like friendships, breakups,
man.
potential divorces and shit. Like, yeah.
All I can say is, and I told you this on the phone too. My focus is my household.
Mine too.
Like, I don't care who's been in office. That has always been the focus. Whether it was Obama, whether it was Trump, whether it was Biden, whoever. Like, in terms of a major impact of who was in office, for me, again, for me, and excuse my ignorance, if you want to call me ignorant, whatever you want to do, that's fine. I was not directly impacted. So for people to go to the extreme of ending friendships, cussing people out, talking crazy, somebody's got to point to me where you were directly impacted by these people that were in office. And again, we all know common sense will say it may not be directly impacted, it's long term impacted. I get that. But it's like, bro, we survived 4 years of him.
Facts. The thing about this, like, you take 10 people, take 10 people. How many out of the 10 people actually follow this shit?
That's a great question. That's a great question.
I guarantee you, after his first year and a half, maybe 2 years, people forgot he was a president. The only time you really paid attention to him is when he said something fucking stupid at a fucking interview or when he was giving out money. Outside of that, when did you really pay attention to Donald Trump when he was fucking president of the United States?
You didn't. Hell, I didn't pay attention to Biden, and people kept saying,
I forgot Biden was even the president.
What is it that they're doing? I was like, bro, these 4 years went by quick.
Right.
Shout out to Mario. Watch how quiet all of those people who making declarations about blocking people get come midterms. Those, to me, are the key elections, if we're going to be honest.
Right.
And guess what? I'm going to be 1,000% honest. I've never participated. That's why I'm saying it's like, for me, it's like every 4 years we go through this. Vote for this person or unfriend me. Oh, you voted for that person. I can't rock with you. But it's like, what about the midterms? What about your local officials? What about this and that? And it's like, bro, I walk in here and I look at this ballot, and once you get past Trump and Harris, a lot of the names on here I did not know nothing about.
Right.
Shout out to Trevin. I work with Trevin. He was on there for the school stuff. So I voted for him, but I know him.
Right.
But outside of that, it's like, bro.
Because you just randomly picking.
And that's why what you just said, how many people actually pay attention?
Like,
if you ask
like,
10
for
people,
real.
that's why I'm like, I'm omitting myself immediately because I'm like, bro, I don't follow it.
I mean, outside of, because Andy, I don't know nothing outside of the president and then who our, governor and senator is.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, bro, it's hard. And I feel like, to me, that's why I admitted earlier that, like, bro, I didn't used to vote. Because I'm like, dog, like, I don't know nothing about any of the people on the paper.
Because think about it, bro. Outside of Bitch McConnell, I don't know who's in the Senate. Like, we don't know who's sitting in those seats outside of which state you're from.
Right.
You ask a motherfucker from Wyoming, who's the senator from Kentucky?
Yeah.
Guarantee you they won't know.
Shout out to Clyde and Mario. They're active military. They're like, hey, they kind of got to keep up with it.
Yeah.
Because that determines how many more. Hold on. Too many comments coming in now. Definitely appreciate everybody tuning in. We kind of have to because it can determine how many more times I'm getting deployed. the prop votes regarding school funding and abortions on the ballot were way more important to me. Facts. I'm not blocking or unfriending people because their political views are different, especially when both parties been playing in our face. Let people have their views and beliefs. Facts. I'm coming back to you, Jerry, because that's a very important topic that I want to discuss too. Arizona sent us a big ass book outlining everybody on the ballot strategy so you knew how to vote. Wish every state did that. Amen to that. If I had something that I could reference like that to where it gives you a breakdown of everything without having to manually go and look up and research every person, I think that would make a big difference in all of this, Mario. So that is a very dope point.
Facts.
But I'm just being honest, and I was like, bro, I'm not coming on no podcast to bash or trash anybody because I know I'm nowhere near educated to the point to where I can sit down and attack you for your political views because they don't align with mine. That's crazy.
But this shit still goes back to, like, we had this conversation a million times. I don't understand why people think that their opinion outweighs everybody else's.
Boom.
One thing, we can have a conversation.
Yeah.
Your guys on the TV right now, perfect example. I say this shit to you all the time. You're not going to convince me why you say he's the best player.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do to convince me of that.
That's why I don't waste my time.
You know what I'm saying? But I respect your opinion, though.
Yeah.
And if I say something to you, well, I'm like, I understand where you're coming from, but this is how I feel. There's no argument.
Right. Because it's crazy. It all comes down to personal opinion and preference and things like that. But that's neither here nor there. I'm going back to you, Jared. I've been seeing the conversation about Trump saying immunity for the police so they can beat the shit out of people and not face penalty at all. He'll probably pardon dude that killed George Floyd. Let me make sure I get my thoughts together. I think that was another talking point for his base.
Right.
Because we already know his base is predominantly back to blue. Yeah. Blue Lives Matter.
Yeah.
Like,
hell yeah.
He knows how to pander to his core. So somebody's going to have to explain to me how he's going to be able to do that from coast to coast. If he explained it, send it to me, show it to me. But it's like, that's such a broad brush to paint with. And it's like,
I don't mean to cut you off. Say that one more time. Give immunity to what?
I did see where he made a statement and he was pushing the idea of all police having immunity. They have the clearance to do and take whatever measures needed based on what's going on with their traffic stop, police raids, things like that. And I'm saying to you, that lines up perfectly for all the situations that's been going on in this country. And there was a division in people of color and white people based on African Americans constantly being gunned down, but you had a large population of people that was back in the blue.
Right.
What they done was justifiable because of what this person, he or she, was doing at the time of them trying to be apprehended or a police raid or whatnot. But that's what I'm saying. It's like, how are you going to give every police officer from coast to coast immunity based on what? Like, I need specifics for that. Otherwise, that's just somebody trying to please a crowd. Say basically all the shit that you know they want to hear.
Basically, yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. I was like, bro, like I'm not going to allow that to get me emotionally roused up.
Right.
And I feel like that's the difference in all of this, because it's like Donald Trump has shown you who he was from day one. We've already known that. You should not be surprised by that. So for her to constantly highlight, he said he's going to do this, he said he's going to do that. We know who the fuck he is, bro. We understand that. What are you gonna do
Right.
different?
Right.
Damn what he got going on. We ain't trying to hear him. And I feel like that's where she lost. But yeah,
That's wild.
it is. That's
Yeah,
why
that-
I'm
that
like, bro,
that
like,
immunity shit just, yeah,
so that's the fear tactic.
yeah.
And I'm just like, he's got to be a bad motherfucker to pull all this off in the
Oh,
next 4
yeah.
years.
Hell yeah.
Like, you got to be like, how? And that's why I'm just like, okay, people, like, at some point, we got to use some form of logic. And if it's me that's not informed or I need to be corrected, then please do so. I'm
That-
very open to that.
That's just like what I said to you earlier today, and I hope they still on there because we need to know this.
Facts.
Remember what I told you earlier today? Technically, this is his second term. But you know when you do a second term, normally it's back to back.
Mm-hmm.
So would he be able to run for president again after this term?
That's the part I don't remember from social studies, so I don't know.
Like I don't know that neither. I know it was like one president that did have 3 terms. He was the only one that had it. But I'm just curious to know, like, I understand this is a second term, but normally, like, when they do the shit from what we know, it's back to back. He won back to back races, elections, or whatnot.
Right. Somebody let us know. Is he eligible to run again, or is this the last time we gonna hear and see from him? But having this conversation is more than most are even willing to have. I said forever. The reason why we're so divided is because we can't have a civil conversation on issues and find a happy medium. Exactly, bro. That's why I was just like, I was so reluctant to even discuss this because I know how nasty it can get. And I know what I've been called just for having opinions and things about sports. So I can't even imagine the conversations and the side eyes and things as it pertains to this. And it's a lot of different avenues that I want to discuss and take, but I was like, maybe today ain't the time to do it. Because for me personally, once it was announced that he won, I'm not a big fan of all the posts that I've seen from women of color that has made it simply and strictly about what women go through. I understand the pain, I understand the hurt, I understand that there's a lot of raw emotion that come with that in terms of, yes, there are a lot of women that are overqualified for things and they don't get it simply because they are a woman.
Right.
Does that play a part in what happened with this race? Yes, it does. Is that the overall factor?
I disagree.
I respectfully disagree. There is a lot of things that came with that decision. And again, this is just my opinion. I feel like it circled more around where we are currently at in this economy and how people are hurting, people are suffering, jobs are constantly moving,
Right.
going and outsourcing and doing things like that. So her being a woman played a huge factor. Her being a woman of color played a huge factor. But I also believe that she did not come off as somebody that was fit for the job currently based on where we're at as a society.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just looking at a lot of the posts and I'm just like, okay, here we go. We're going to turn this into a woman thing. And I hope people don't think that makes me sexist or anything like that. But I was like, women were not the only ones impacted or hurt by that decision last night. So to disregard everyone else, I don't know, bruh. I don't know. FDR started his fourth. They paving the way for Vance next. This the last time a total of 2 terms max. Appreciate it, Clyde. No, he cannot run again. There you go.
Okay.
Appreciate y'all.
Appreciate it.
Like I said, I ain't had social studies in a long time, 20 plus years. I'm getting old, dog, and that's just like I will admit my ignorance. I will. It just confirms how divided we are. They started blaming black men for what I tell you. I'm listening to Ricky Smiley 6:00 in the morning, and that's the first thing come out of his mouth. Black and brown men didn't show up and do what they needed to do because they don't want to want. I was like, bro, pump your brakes. And then when the numbers came out, Roland Martin
Yeah.
is who got on there and checked him this morning. He's like, nah, bro, black men did show up. And then when you look at them numbers, again, this is just me trying to go off the top of my head. I don't have it in front of me. I think they said 59% of white men voted for Trump, 52% of white women voted for Trump, 20% of black men voted for Trump, 44% of Hispanic, I think, somewhere in there, give or take. So I'm like, black people didn't do this. So don't try to blame black men. I've been on TikTok all over the place, and it's just like, oh, black men this, black men that. And I'm just like, bruh, when you log on to the Shade Room and shit like that, and you see 50 Cent and celebrities, they have a whole different agenda, bro. They're rich.
Right,
They're going to
right,
benefit
Right.
from him.
They're gonna benefit from
So
that
to
shit.
me, they don't even fit in this puzzle. But, oh, we ain't listening to 50 Cent no more. Cancel this person. I'm like, bro, y'all got to quit being so emotionally attached to this.
I mean, but still though, Donald Trump's name was attached to this. Do y'all people really thought this man was gonna lose this race?
Crazy, bro. Appreciate you pulling
Like,
up,
come
Clyde.
on, man.
Like, it's crazy, man.
Like people can't be that delusional to think that this man was not gonna win.
Going up against a woman. And I know that kind of contradicts what I just said, but that's why I'm saying being a woman did play a factor. And if you looked at that map and saw all that damn red, bro, I'm like,
I'm still curious to know why you fucking people are shocked that Kentucky and Indiana was red.
especially Kentucky. Look,
Like you might see two little blue specks in Kentucky, which is Louisville and maybe Lexington.
a little bit of
Maybe.
Lexington, but more so Bowling Green.
But come on, man.
What everyone needs to understand is we are privileged to have the right to vote without prejudice. The problem is people feel like it's great that you vote, but you have to vote for what they vote for. Amen.
Facts.
Amen.
Facts.
That's why I said I learned my lesson the last time, bro. Some of them celebrities don't even vote. Waka Flocka been endorsing Trump. I saw that the other day
Yeah.
where they showed that he has never voted. So that's why I'm saying it's like for us, and I'm gonna quit dancing in circles because the Lakers getting ready to come on. For us, our community, African Americans, we put so much stock into celebrities and what their opinions are and things like that to where it does influence and control our behaviors, who we go to vote for, who we do this. I've been watching Plies. I've been watching Waka Flocka. I've been watching all the celebrities, Amber Rose, Ray J. I've been seeing all of this, and I'm saying to you, why do you think these are the people that they're putting on the stages at the campaign rallies? Like, why are we not able to see past the bullshit? You're pandering. Neither side discussed actual political points. So why are we this emotional in regards to the outcome? Like EB said, they both played in our faces. But now that it's over, I can say what I really wanted to say because I'm just like,
But think about this though. When it comes to that presidential shit, all these presidential elects do the same shit. Except the exception of maybe one, since we've been alive.
facts.
What I tell you earlier today. You seen this shit in school. You know what I'm saying? We always had that little presidential shit in elementary, middle school, high school and shit. They paint this picture for you. Beautiful picture. Picasso. What's the story behind it though?
Guess as good as mine.
Like I'm a force feed you some good shit,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell you what you want to hear just to get in.
Yep. That's with anything.
It's like,
That's with anything. And that's why I was just like, and I know the answer. Personally, I know the answer, but it's like people really don't have the ability to think for themselves. You don't know how to distinguish what's real and what's bullshit. Look at it in terms of a relationship. If I meet somebody, I'm going to tell you everything that I think you want to hear for me to get what I need to get. But once I get it, you see the real me.
yeah,
That's literally how this all shapes out. It always has. I'm going to tell you everything that I want you to hear. I'm going to wipe out student loans. I'm going to do all this stuff. Everybody's on board. Look at how they did Bernie. I saw Bernie issued a statement today, and he was just like, the Democratic Party has lost touch with the middle class.
damn, he's still alive.
Come on, bro.
My bad. I was listening to what you were saying. My son had texted me. You said Bernie. Damn. I ain't know he was still alive.
Nah, Bernie's still ticking, bro.
Damn.
But he was like, the Democratic Party has lost touch with the middle class family. And now the middle class has turned their backs on the Democratic Party.
Yeah.
And when I saw that, I'm like, he hit it spot on. And I know that when Bernie was trying to run, a lot of his ideas and things, people scoffed at it and laughed and said it's not realistic, it's not obtainable, and things like that. But it's like he brought more to the table in terms of what he was attempting to do or what he was hoping to do than I've heard from this administration.
Yeah.
So it's like everybody was hoping and praying, man, my life will change if you wipe out student loans. But guess what? The Republican Party knows that if that were to happen, that changes the whole dynamic of this country.
Right.
You're talking about lower class people moving up a class, middle class people moving up a class, and we can't have that. So that's why, for me, again, these are just my thoughts, my opinions. It's all structured to keep people in place.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't have the ability to think for yourself and see past the bullshit, you're just going to go through this every 4 years.
Yeah.
And nobody's held accountable for coming through with their promises that they made on the campaign trail.
Right.
So in 4 years, whoever the next Democratic nominee is versus the next Republican, and we're going to go through this again. If you vote for this person, the world's going to end, this and that and that. And it's like, bro, like you said, we've been brainwashed this way since we was kids.
Yep. I guess what I'm going to do the same shit I did last night. Who winning? Somebody said Big Unc up 23, INT up 3. I was like, all right. Went straight to sleep. I didn't care.
I didn't even
You know what
turn
I'm
it
saying?
on.
I voted, but at the same time,
You knew.
that shit don't draw my interest.
You knew. You knew what was coming, bro.
Yeah. Plus, like I said before, when all of this shit was happening last year, when his name got put in there, we knew he was gonna fucking win. Dog, come on, dude.
Once he wasn't held accountable for inciting a riot,
Right.
and once all them charges and stuff was just basically swept under the rug, the writing was on the wall. And like I said, and I don't want to go down this rabbit hole either, but it's like I see a lot of people that posted and woke up today and was like, thank God the right person was put in office and this and that. And I'm like, bruh, how do you correlate God? Let me look at this damn camera. And look, I'm talking about God and cussing. How do you correlate God and put it in the same sentence with Donald Trump? Even if you throw out his track record as a president, everything that he's been associated and affiliated with leading up to him running for president.
Shit didn't change nothing, man.
How do you put the two and two together? So I was just like, bro, y'all missed me. You lost me. You entitled to your opinion. You feel how you feel.
Homie on earth, she said, I still woke up poor this morning. We all did.
Man, I had to roll over and log in.
Shit ain't fucking changed. I had to wake up and still punch that clock this morning.
Exactly.
Shit ain't changed.
But I was just like, bro, like that's a whole nother conversation in its own self. And it's like you see a lot of people that are heavy and deep into the church and very religious and things like that. And it's like the way he has spoken about immigrants, the way he has said things about African Americans and just talk bad and promising to institute policies and things that are very detrimental to specific groups of people. You really think that's Christ-like? And I was just like, bruh, it goes back to what I'm saying. If you don't have the ability to think for yourself and do what you feel is in the best interest for you and your family, then you're going to be lost in that revolving door of arguing and debating politics.
Can't believe they brought Sanders in that, man. That's crazy.
Swear.
Yeah.
Swear.
He's not pleased.
It's crazy, dude. That's I was just like, bro, y'all.
Yeah, that's
like y'all
wild.
putting this man in the same conversation with Christ.
Yeah, that's wild.
Grab him by. I get what I want. I grab him by the. I'm like, what?
That alone. Yeah.
I'm like, hey. All I can do is hope that I get through the heavenly gates. That's it. Just try to do what I can and be here for people. Perfect closing. We're gonna wrap it up. Support the homies. I still stand by that. You done known me for a long time. If you see or feel like I'm switching up, please tell me.
Man, look, we done already went down that road. Like how we rock with each other and shit. I told you, like you see me moving funny, just like we gonna address it.
Say something to me.
That's how we always been, man.
I feel like I've been the same person.
Me too.
From day one. Like, ain't nothing about me changed. I don't move different. I literally try to respect and treat people equally. So to each his own, I guess. Like I said, I enjoyed this conversation. We went over an hour. I definitely love the people that's been chiming in and commenting. There's a lot of feedback going on. Can't wait to get this uploaded and put out there for people to listen to. But it's like, I just wanted to put my thoughts out there because the whole entire time, I did not discuss anything political.
Yeah.
Nothing outside of having private and personal conversations. And like I said, you wake up this morning and you see people talking about ending friendships. I'm going through, I'm deleting this and I'm deleting that. And I'm just like, bro, it can't never be that serious. Not because we have a difference of opinion. Everybody has their own agenda for why they're voting for whoever they're voting for. And like I said, people with money had their own personal reasons for why they wanted Donald Trump.
Yeah.
If somebody's campaign talking points is we're going to figure out how to tax the rich and impose this and that, do you not feel like they're going to feel targeted? So they're going to vote against you just off the rip.
Just off the back.
Because it's like, damn, you trying to come from everything that I done worked for.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, bro, like you have to be able to understand that. I'm sorry. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, well, good people. We back in the MAGA era. Like, I hated to say it like that this morning. Funny to me. Fuck y'all. I don't care. Y'all get mad. But we back in the MAGA era.
Tell me when it was great, and we'll figure it out.
I'm still trying to figure out when was America great.
I don't know. I've been struggling all my life. Yeah.
Right. I swear.
I don't know. But like I said, man, appreciate everybody that has tuned in, man. I respectfully disagree podcast, man. Last time I looked, man, we was at about 715 subscribers. So we done went over 700 and trying to finish out the year strong. Hopefully get to 800. The goal is still 1,000. Um, let me know what people want to hear. You get on social media, you get on TikTok and stuff, and to me, it sounds like it's the same conversations. Who's the GOAT? Relationship advice. Should men and women go 50-50? Like, I don't want to sit here and have them same regurgitated conversations over and over and over, but I get it. For whatever reason, that's what people want to hear, I guess. I don't know. They don't want to hear me try to hold people accountable and speak positive shit. I don't know.
Well, I got more available time now, so since I got the early joint now, so y'all definitely gonna start hearing me more often now.
I'm with it, and
Like,
shout out
for
to
real.
Avery because he had an idea. I'm not gonna say it yet.
And we definitely need to get that cracking.
I'm with it. I'm with it.
We definitely need to get that cracking. I told you what that first episode need to be, so I need to go to those two spots and grab those. I even eat the shit on on live.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like,
You know what I'm
dude,
saying?
I got the camera equipment. I got the mics where you can plug up, put it
Yeah.
on your collar. We can take the podcast wherever we want to
Yeah.
go. We just got to make it happen. But like I said, to me, I enjoy these type of conversations. We can be respectful and just talk and be open without having to shout at
And
each other.
even with Big Bro, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Kev. I ain't heard from
Man.
him in a minute. You know, we had the Freaky Friday session and shit. We only did that once.
Look, you know he gonna be open to
Yeah.
that for sure.
Yeah. So,
But it's
you know,
like just trying to figure out that avenue and trying to keep the conversation fresh because I do know for a fact that when I first started this, I was bringing people along, trying to introduce people and talk about what they had going on, support the homies. But it's like, okay, I done interviewed everybody. We done did the top this, top that, favorite horror movies, favorite candies, favorite what. We didn't do candies, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
after a while, the conversations get watered down, and people just don't want to tap in and hear me rambling and going back and forth. So it's like, let me know. Shout out to Rob. Didn't hear much of your podcast today, but wanted to say I feel like the media makes everything much worse and does nothing but push their own agendas and what they want or like instead of putting a story out there and letting you come to your own conclusions. They do nothing but keep our people divided and at odds with each other. 1,000%. I wholeheartedly agree. And again, we live in the state of Kentucky. And like I tell people, we touched on it earlier, and after this, I'm gone for real. You know for a fact, Louisville's going to go blue. Some part of Lexington is going to be blue. It's probably 50-50 for the most part, but more pushing towards red in Lexington. And then you got the same thing for Bowling Green. But Kentucky is made up of a ton of little, small counties. I didn't even touch on the part of a lot of his fan base is low income, low education. Like, that's not me trying to be funny. That's not me trying to attack people. That's me being honest, and the numbers and everything is out there in terms of who his fan base was. And I'm saying that because I'm from Hickman County, Clinton, Kentucky. Small, less than 2,000 people, roughly 2,000 people. One stoplight town. And I saw the numbers last night. And it's like 1,600 voted for Trump, 300 voted for Harris. And if I look at those numbers, it's like, bruh, that's the town split directly in half. Literally, split straight down the middle.
That's a crazy number though. 16. You said 16.
1,600 to 300.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And I'm just like, bruh, you, without even having to see the demographics of who done what, you already knew what picture was being told there. And I'm saying, again, no disrespect. That's where I grew up. Can't never change that. Can't never turn my back on where I'm from. But it's like, I know for a fact that my hometown don't have the resources that they need to have.
Right. Let me ask you this, and I ain't even being funny. Like for real. Like how many black people is from your hometown? Like if you was a guess, like when you grew up, when you grew up, how many black people live there? If you was to take an estimated guess,
Shit, 100,
damn.
if not less, give or take. I graduated with 38 people. 8 of them was black.
Really?
Yeah. Like that's no exaggeration. So that's what I'm saying. It's like looking at things in hindsight, and when you look at these numbers, and it's like, bro, to me, in my opinion, again, I'm not disrespecting nobody. You're voting against your own best interests.
Right.
Like you're voting for somebody whose goal is targeted towards wealthy. A lot of his policies and things benefit people that have wealth already. That's not going to trickle down to these little counties in Kentucky. And we know for a fact that Kentucky has always been a red state.
Ah, yeah.
So if Kentucky has always been a red state, why hasn't it impacted?
I mean, think about
He served already. Where did you benefit from his first term?
I mean, think about who the fucking Senate is.
And he been here for as long as I've been
He's
alive.
been here since 1843. So, I mean, think about it. Like that right there should tell you enough.
So that's what I'm saying. So now shift the focus off of Kentucky, because you put Kentucky, Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama, you put all of them in this same pot, bro. Like these are some of the poorest states in the country, some of the worst education systems in the country, but yet for whatever reason they're attached to this political party and these political views because, like you said earlier, it was passed down from the parents. So again, you stuck in this revolving door, and now you got a whole country that's never going to evolve into this big melting pot that's been presented to us since we was kids and old enough to understand the Statue of Liberty and everything else. It's like you vote against your own best interests. And that's why I'm just like, bro, I saw that, man. I'm like 1,600 to 300. And I'm like, bro, when you ride down there, bro, there's nothing there. What are you hanging your hat on in terms of what you're voting for? Because you're not benefiting from it. But that's a whole nother conversation. Like I said, I ain't mean to go off on that tangent, but I'm just like, bro, like he knew his fan base. Yep. He knew his core.
It's cold.
And he's gonna say everything that he needed, and guess what? He came out on the other side. So anywho, man, dope conversation, man. Appreciate y'all rocking with the channel. Hit that like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. I Respectfully Disagree can be found on YouTube and on streaming services. Come rock with the TikTok page. Anything you want to shout out before we get off here?
Nah.
Appreciate you pulling up,
like
bro.
Like I said before, I enjoyed everybody's misery this morning.
It's crazy, bro. People was ready to crash out, boy.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you something funny before we get off here and shit, Doc. Cause like this whole color thing, it be tripping me out and shit. Cause like I said, you know my territory's over in Indiana, like southern Indiana and shit. Like I went to French Lick for the first time yesterday. Thought I was gonna run into Larry Bird. You know that's where he from.
Mm-hmm.
Now you remember I told you the last job I had, like 2 spots up there in Indiana, Columbus and Seymour and shit. You know, I ain't gonna speculate anything about these people, but when I tell you when I was in French Lick, I may have seen 2 black people, maybe. And then like me just dropping out packages, bro, like they was looking at me like I was an endangered species, dog.
Yeah. Welcome to my neck of the woods.
I real deal felt like, oh boy, on Get Out. I needed to get the hell out of there.
And I think a lot of people don't understand that's real. Like once you get past Bowling Green and shit like that, bro, you you're in a wooded area.
Mm-hmm.
You bet not go nowhere and knock on somebody doing. I got a flat tire.
Nah, bro. Like, I bullshit
Shit.
you not. Like, I'm not even being funny, bro. Like, cause like today's my third day starting this job and shit. So when I went out Monday, and you gonna laugh at this shit, and Lord Sandals, forgive me. Like the first person I seen, bro, looked like a whole fucking witch. Then we going through these backwoods and shit. One road I'm driving on, part of it kind of felt like what was that movie called? The little boy that got killed, Pet Cemetery. Part of it felt like that. Then another part felt like Jeepers Creepers. I'm looking behind me thinking that the van's coming and shit. And we going into the back roads in the woods and shit. Like, no, they got that shine back there.
Yeah.
But I'm like, little shit like that. And I'm hoping ain't no, hills have eyes or the wrong turn people pop out.
It's real, man.
Like, it's shit crazy as hell, man. But yes.
Yeah.
Welcome to America, man. Like I said.
Like I said, we may have to revisit this conversation.
MAGA era.
Once your boy finally move back in and shit start happening, we may have to revisit this and I may change everything that I just said.
I wanna see, cause they be recording that whole interaction and shit. I wanna see how the fuck he's gonna react to shit when he do go back in the house and gotta leave.
Bruh, it's crazy. But and I'm gone for real after this. But it's like we very much may have created a monster. Yeah. Because now, bro, may feel like he's untouchable. He's invincible. Like, I done beat all these charges. The people don't care. I can do whatever I want to, say whatever I want to.
Yeah. So
who knows? All this fear that people talking about, it may be a real thing. But we'll see.
Yeah.
Teflon. Teflon Don. We go, man. We out. Appreciate y'all.
Ass toasted, no competition. Amnesia coasting. I feel so high, I feel so live. My body's intertwined. Amnesia coasting. I feel so live, and I know why. That I can't deny. Amnesia coasting. Goody, fine wine, fools, malt liquor. Wish me I'm high class.